What's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris Don One. I'm back with another video. Rate, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next video or live stream goes down. Before I begin today's video, first I'd like to state this for the record. I was going to do a video or live stream yesterday and YouTube be tripping. So I couldn't do the live stream. I was going to give y'all my prediction, the outcome, what's going to transpire between game 2. And my logic was the Golden State Warriors were going to win due to the fact of the others, okay? I didn't know which others, but it was going to be a collective team effort. It's not going to be the usual suspects such as Draymond, Clay, and Steph Curry. I thought the other guys were going to step up, and that's what they did. So let's talk about last night's game. Golden State Warriors, of course, they won due to two people. Okay, Andre Iguodala, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but I want to focus much of my argument towards Boogie Cousins. You know, a lot of people thought that Boogie shouldn't have started because he's still kind of, he's still injured. And I felt like, even though he's injured, I think the injury was like sort of a blessing in disguise. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking at me side-eyed, but I felt like when Boogie was somewhat healthier and they introduced him into the roster in the second half of the NBA regular season, I felt like Boogie was really pressing too much. He was really trying to, get his in, so to say, to show the world that he's still Boogie Cousins. He's Boogie. I felt like, and I even said this in the regular season, if Boogie would just be a part of just be in the offense instead of being part of the offense, I felt like, with time, he will gradually, have a chemistry, have better chemistry with his, with everyone around. Plus, there's no need for you to push. There's no need for you to rush down the court, taking any type of shot, because you don't have that much of a shot selection when you have to divvy out the shot selections with the other members of the Golden State Warriors. Felt like if he would allow the game to come to him instead of him coming to the game, ultimately he was going to fit perfectly in this offense. Okay, and he sort of has, but I felt like he was rushing it a little bit too much. Last night proved, even with the injury, Boogie slowed down, and Boogie realized, hey, look, wait, I don't have to try to score 30 or 20 points or get a triple-double or a double-dub or whatever. I can just be a part of the offense, and the rest will, the rest of it would happen. And that's pretty much what transpired with Boogie Cousins. He played 26 minutes. He normally played 33 minutes, 26 minutes. You can clearly tell he's still injured. He's still, hobbling, so to say. But by him slowing down and basically saying, you know what, there are other aspects of my game that I can utilize for this team to be very successful, which is his passing game. For him to be a big man, he already has great touch with the ball. And he moves like a 3 instead of a 4 or 5. But the touch he has with the ball, the pinpoint passing he has with the ball, it keeps the defense honest, okay? It keeps the defense back some. And the second aspect of that, Steve Kerr let Boogie take the role of Draymond Green, okay? Where he'll take the ball at the high, at the high top key, and then he dictates where the ball is going to go, okay? Not in a lot of occasions, but in some occasions that's what they were doing. And I felt like Boogie Cousins, if there was an MVP for last night's game, Boogie Cousins should have won that, as well as Andre Iguodala. I felt like Andre did a lot of things throughout that game that may not show up in the box score, but as far as his, trying to defend Kawhi Leonard, even though he's got nagging injuries, he kept Kawhi kind of honest, and pretty much Kawhi had to, was settling on jumpers and 3-pointers, and they were not going in, as well as the Toronto Raptors. And I felt like a lot of that had of AI. I thought he was the one letting Kawhi be more of a jump shooter. Okay, so as well as that final shot at the end of the quarter that sealed the deal for Toronto. And I feel like and Klay Thompson, if I know he's got an injury, but a lot of people don't think it's going to be very serious. Okay, it's a pulled hamstring with rest, plenty of R&R. I feel like ultimately it's going to go one or two ways. He's still going to play, but how much of a percentage of the Klay Thompson you're going to get, that remains to be seen. They might have to. He's a great two-way player. He might have to use the bulk of his energy on the offensive end. Okay, so a lot of things the Golden State Warriors did well, but I felt like the others were going to win. Now, before I go, I'm gonna make my predictions. My predictions. Can I say that right? Predictions for Game 3, and I feel like the Golden State Warriors are going to win Game 3, because if everything stays status quo, I don't think the Toronto Raptors have a plan of trapping Klay Thompson. You're gonna have to pick your poison, Klay Thompson or Steph Curry. And out of the two, Steph Curry had a decent game last night, but I felt like it wasn't the Steph Curry that we all know. Okay, I feel like he's going to have one of those games for Game 3. He's going to really blow up, and he's going to be at home. The crowd is going to fuel him, and he's going to have one of those spectacular games. Okay, where everything's going in. So that means the defense is going to have to be a little bit honest. Okay, you can't double Steph and leave Klay open, and you can't really put too many people on Klay to leave Steph open. Okay, also feel like Draymond Green is going to pretty much be defending primarily on Kawhi Leonard the majority of the time. Okay, and they're going to keep Boogie at that usual spot like he did last night. And I feel like it's just too many players to worry about, even without a Kevin Durant. It's way too many players to calculate, figure out, and run a defense strategy against. Okay, and they played them, and the Toronto Raptors, you got to salute them. They played them honest. Defensive wise, the scheme was perfect, but it's just too many people to worry about. And on the other side of that, who's going to be the second scorer for Toronto? Okay, and it's always a merry-go-round of different players that's going to stand up and perform. Okay, so I feel like the Golden State Warriors are going to win ultimately Game 3, and I just feel like it's just too many people to worry about, too many players to worry about on the Golden State Warriors side. You can't necessarily. It's not like they just have a Kawhi and a bunch of others. Okay, they got Steph, Klay, Boogie, Draymond. Okay, so that 4 players alone are better than any 4 players on the Toronto Raptors side of things. Okay, so I think they're going to be out. They're not going to be out hustled, but I do feel like they're going to be outgunned. I feel like Steph is going to have one of those magical nights where they're going to take Game 3, and you still got Game 3, 4, and 5 where there's a possibility you can get KD back, and if Boogie doesn't push the envelope too much, he can pretty much be in this series. Okay, so that's all I got to say, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Chris Down 1, and I am out of here. Deuces.